Hello everyone, and welcome to our second update here from Buoy 10. Today is, of course, August 2nd, and today was, man, it was a scorcher. I don't think I've ever experienced the coast being this warm. It was easily in the 90s today, really hot. And here's the worst part, there was zero wind. Usually when that sun gets really hot and gets really hot in the valley, it gets really windy here. That didn't happen. So I'm out here dumping carcasses right now from a long day of fishing. And here's what happened. You know, it never really had a consistent bite all day long. It was just kind of scratch fishing. You know, just one bite here, then one bite there. There was never really one good solid snap. I think probably the best bite that I saw was this morning, about 2 hours into the incoming. Again, these are small tides, so you're not going to see much current. And that was again over there at Shipwreck, but it got pretty crowded over there because that's where most of the fish have been holding. I kicked back over here to the Oregon side at high slack, first part of the outgo, and it was, you know, a bite, maybe 2 bites a pass at best, and it was a grind. Today was just a grind. Now, was that due to the weather? I don't know. It could have been because of the small tides. There's only a 2-foot outgoing, so that made things tough as well. That being said, we did end up keeping 4 Chinook, let a few go, missed a few, lost a number of fish at the side of the boat. So honestly, for August 2nd, that's not bad at all. Still no coho in the mix yet, but all in all, not a bad day. Just, I don't know, it was weird. The fish were just biting a little bit light today. They just weren't freight training it like they were yesterday. Gear that worked today, you know, on these softer tides, I pretty much stuck with the 360 flashers almost all day. However, there were a number of guys that caught them on the triangles, like the fish flash. They did really well on those chartreuse. Yesterday and today seemed to have been the best from the guys that I talked to. But for me, I wanted to zone troll today. I wanted to try some new things today, at least for me, and see if it made a difference. And frankly, I don't think it did. I think I could have just fished my basic triangle flashers and would have done just fine. In fact, I might have done a little bit better because there were several times today where I was marking fish down on the bottom, and you just really can't fish those 360 flashers that well really close to the deck and fish them slow. You know, the current at most is going maybe 2.5 miles an hour for your speed over ground. So having a triangle flasher where you can actually dig it down there in the dirt, I think it might have helped a little bit in some of those instances where I was marking a lot of fish right on the deck. So what did work today? We had one of those new Hildebrand 3.5 size spinners that did really well today. That had a lot of our bites. And then I was actually using a clamshell style lure, the Brad Super Bait, in the 3 size, the 3-inch size, I believe it is. I don't use them that often, so I think they're the 3.0 size, whatever. But what I did with that Super Bait is I filled it full of that fish nip from ProCure, and then I added some the Addicted Salmon Blend and a touch of anise, and that rod actually had the best action all day long. So just having the little mini Super Bait with the fish nip and a little bit of anise and then the Addicted Salmon Blend, that seemed to really do it. In fact, I'll show you guys the lures and the stuff that worked here well today. So the spinner is this guy right here. So I'm gonna turn around, there you go, yep. That is a Hildebrand blade, and honestly, I really like these Hildebrand blades. They shine so well, especially the copper finishes are just hard to beat. So it's just a little 3.5 there. And then the Super Bait is right here. There it is. That little guy right there, little pink and silver. That one was doing really well, and oddly enough, they were both in the center position, both middle rods. And then the bait is right here. There it is. So again, it's just a fish nip, and I can smell the anise already. So it's got some anise in it, then the Addicted Salmon Blend. Just mush it all together. It helps with that consistency. And what's nice is that I put a whole packet of that fish nip into 2 different containers, 2 different flavors. And that whole pack will actually probably last me the entire week because you don't need very much. A lot of oil, a lot of fat in it. So having that fish nip in there, it can last for several hours. You aren't burning through a lot of bait. So that's pretty much it for today. I apologize for not going through all my setups, you know, showing you guys how I'm rigging everything up. It's been some really long days. We just wrapped up our convention. a couple days ago, so I'm still trying to wrap that up. I still owe people some emails with all the different presentations. So I have a lot of office work I got to do here tonight, but I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of what happened. So essentially, long story short, shipwreck was decent. Not really that great this morning, but there were some fish there. Later on today, the ship anchorage on the Oregon side, and then at the very end of the day, down there at Hammond again, just like yesterday, Hammond down along the red line. However, navigational hazard right there on the red line. There are 2 derelict crab pots that are not visible. We lost gear on one of them, so just be very aware that right there next to buoy 22, there are 2 derelict crab pots that are just under the surface. So that is our buoy 10 update here for August 2nd. I promise you guys, I'll get you some gear and some breakdown stuff, but feel free to ask any questions that you have. I'm gonna help out any way that I can. Thanks. All right, we'll see you later.